Hello, hello everyone. Namaste. Yes, are we live? Yes, I am live. Yes, good. Hello Sakshi. Hello Sridharth. Hello everyone. Welcome. So it's interesting. I didn't realize that today is an interesting day in terms of elections and all that, but I'm not interested in Rajniti. I'm interested in Raj Dharma. So today we're going to talk on Raj Dharma because it's a subject that we use very casually. Everybody uses on TV channels में लोग राजधर्म की बात करते रहते हैं. राजधर्म लेकिन मतलब क्या है? राजनीति और राजधर्म में कुछ तो फर्क होगा. तो ये सिंपल है, इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, लेकिन ये समझने के लिए टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वी हैव टू डू अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ रिसर्च एंड हाउ इज इट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम मॉडर्न गवर्नेंस एंड कहाँ से सब बातें आती हैं. तो आज उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. इट्स अ वेरी बिग टॉपिक बट लेट्स सी व्हाट वी कैन डू. तो पहले तो शुरुआत होगी ये शब्द. सो वी जस्ट वेट फॉर 1 minute एवरीवन. I will just check with everybody if everything is working fine. You can see this is my favorite spot to sit. This is my illustrations behind me. Connectivity is it okay? Yes, the connectivity is fine. Lots of cockroaches today, obviously, because the cockroaches have to come today because we are going to teach on Rajdharma. They will not understand what I'll say, but it is important so that in their next life, then of course they have to be cockroaches. So please salute all the cockroaches who come. They survive a lot. They don't understand anything, but they're there. Oh God, I'm getting a lot of poor connectivity issues from Instagram. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. Just give me a minute, guys. I will try. I will just do a slight change. Yes, I will just do that. Yes. Let's hope it works. Sorry, guys, some connectivity issues. So previously, I used to get very irritated with cockroaches because I thought I had this burden on me that I have to help people becoming smart. But I realized दुनिया में आप ऐसे नहीं कर सकते. जो कॉकरोच है वो कॉकरोच है. अगर उसकी इच्छा हो तो वो हंस बन सकता है, लेकिन नहीं बनेगा तो नहीं बनेगा, वहीं पे रहेगा. अभी क्या करें, दुनिया में ऐसे होते हैं, हर प्रकार के लोग होते हैं. एंड वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी वर्ल्ड होता है. डाइवर्सिटी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट इन इंडियन थॉट. That is the most unique idea. अगर किसी ने मुझे कहा कि देवदत्त what is the most biggest unique idea in Hinduism, it is diversity. It is the biggest idea in India, and so I think there's some connection issue. Guys, I can't do anything about it, so you'll have to manage. If it manages, it's great. Instagram live, so let's see what happens. If you can't, then just come to the Facebook live. That's it. We are doing it with the same thing. I've just kept the camera in front. तो ठीक है. तो अभी हम go to the topic of धर्म. धर्म का मतलब क्या? राज धर्म के पहले धर्म समझना पड़ेगा. Now, where does the concept of dharma come from? The word dharma is found in Rigved first, but it is not a very big word. It is not a very big word. Rigved has 1,000 verses, 10,000 verses, 1,000 songs, but only about 70 times the word dharma is used in the Rigved. So dharma is not a huge concept, is not at all a huge concept in Rigved. It becomes a big concept in the Brahmana literature. So that is what it becomes important. Now, this is a diagram. So I have got this thing. तो नहीं करेंगे हम लोग. But dharma word comes in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now, the word धर्म, पहले ये समझना था कि इंडियन नॉलेज कहाँ पे होता है. तो लोग बोलते हैं कि धर्मशास्त्र पढ़ेंगे तो हमको धर्म का ज्ञान मिलेगा, अर्थशास्त्र पढ़ेंगे तो अर्थ का ज्ञान मिलेगा. अब ये ब्राह्मणों ने लिखा है. Brahmins have written these books and they always write it in such a way that it will help only the Brahmins. And there were, in the Brahmin community, there were the wise Brahmins and there were the cunning Brahmins. जैसे एक ग्रुप नहीं होता है, हर जगह पे हर ग्रुप में, you know, one of the biggest mistake we make is we look at people as a group, you know, all men, all women, all savarna, dalit, ये ग्रुप बनाने से ना बहुत ही dangerous trait, हर आदमी को देखना चाहिए, because there are good people and bad people in every group. In every group there are good people and bad people. So the Brahmins also had wise Brahmins who were smart, and they were also stupid Brahmins. There were smart kings and there were stupid kings. There were smart merchants and there were stupid merchants. So around the world, every community will have smart people and stupid people. And so we have to always understand, when you read Brahmin literature, you have to be very careful कि wisdom कहाँ से आता है. What is wisdom? And we have to understand that. So first, when I want to understand the dharma, I say, okay, what is the definition of dharma? Where do I find the definition of dharma? And then I remember something very interesting. That हमारे शास्त्रों में हमेशा कहा गया है कि ज्ञान मनुष्य तक पहुंचने के लिए देवताओं ने कहा कि कथाओं की शुरुआत करो. वाया स्टोरीज नॉलेज विल गो, क्योंकि लोगों के पास ज्ञान पहुंचना चाहिए और ये ब्राह्मण संस्कृत भाषा किसी को नहीं देंगे. तो जो संस्कृत भाषा के भीतर जो ज्ञान है वो ज्ञान की कोई भाषा नहीं होती. रिमेंबर, नॉलेज एंड कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैव नो लैंग्वेज, दे आर एब्स्ट्रैक्ट. उन्हें भाषा केवल एक पात्र होता है. इट इज जस्ट अ वेसल, लाइक द वे आई एम ड्रिंकिंग कॉफी इन दिस कप. संस्कृत इज लाइक दिस कप, but what is the great thing is the coffee inside which I'm drinking. So gyan is coffee. It has, don't confuse it with a cup. So if somebody says Sanskrit, they're foolish people, because I can have this coffee in a cup, I can have it in a tumbler, I can have it in a bottle, I can have it in different languages. So the God says, why do you need different language? Can you tell it in the form of a story? So all the knowledge of India is found in the form of stories. And they say that when the stories were composed, Natya Shastra was composed. Natya Shastra was the fifth Ved. उन्होंने कहा, देवताओं ने कहा कि देखो, जो डायलॉग होता है ना वो ऋग्वेद से लो, जो एक्टिंग होता है वो यजुर्वेद से लो, जो म्यूजिक होता है वो सामवेद से लो, जो कॉस्ट्यूम होता है वो अथर्ववेद से लो, and you take this and create stories. So when you read the stories of India, you will understand concepts like Raj Dharma. So I will not look for definition, I will look for stories. And the first story that we have to read about dharma comes from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is like an old Brahmana text, old text. And in that they talk about Manu saving the small fish. And the small fish, there's a small fish who comes and tells Manu, save me from the big fish. And Manu saves the small fish. And then we heard that Manu puts him in a pot, then it becomes big, so he puts him in a bigger pot, and then he puts him in a bigger pot, then he puts him in a well, then he puts it in a lake, and finally it goes into the sea. That is part one of the story. Part two of the story is one day there is a great flood. And when there is a great flood, who will save Manu? Manu is wondering, abhi mera flood ho gaya, mera kya hone wala hai? And suddenly a very big fish appears and says, I will save you, Manu. You sit on a boat, you sit with the Vedas, and I will save you. I will take you to Mount Meru, which is the topmost part of the mountain, and I will protect. Look at the story very carefully. This is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It is not Vishnu Puran. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is before the Buddha. So 2700 years ago, this text, there's no Vishnu in the story. They only talk of Prajapati taking the form of the fish. So the first time we hear this story, and in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, they are talking about, and in the Shatapatha Brahmana, you also find this in the Shatapatha Brahmana. I was wondering where else have I heard the story. You find the story in the Shatapatha Brahmana, and the Shatapatha Brahmana also tells you the story of the fish, Manu saving the fish, and the small fish, and the big fish saving Manu. So Manu saved the weak, and then when he was weak, the strong helped him. This is dharma. In jungle, in the forest, the strong eat the weak, the big eats the small. But in culture, the strong take care of the weak. That is the simple definition of Sanskriti. Dharma creates Sanskriti. So our journey from animal to human is the journey from nature to culture, which is the journey from jungle law, where the strong eat the weak, to where the strong take care of the weak. This is the foundation of Dharma. Remember, this is explained 5,000 times. So this is there very clearly in Shatapatha Brahmana, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And then this is found in Vishnu Puran, and they will say the fish is the first avatar of Vishnu. When is Vishnu Puran written? 500 AD. That is 1200 years after Shatapatha Brahmana. तो 1200 साल के बाद जो शतपथ ब्राह्मण में जो कहानी मिलती है वो विष्णु पुराण में मिलती है मत्स्य अवतार के रूप में. मतलब 1200 साल तक ये कॉन्सेप्ट रहता है. और यही बात आपको मिलेगी जब आप बंगाल में जाओगे. बंगाल इज नाउ इन द न्यूज. देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड द सेना किंग्स, द हिंदू सेना किंग्स. व्हेन दे कम, उनकी जो शिला लिखी है, द एपिग्राफी, दे कीप सेइंग द किंग रोज टू पावर टू पुट एन एंड टू मत्स्य न्याय. मत्स्य न्याय का मतलब है जहां शोषण होता है, जो बलवान होता है वो बलहीन का शोषण करता है, उसे मत्स्य न्याय कहते हैं. So that is you find in Bengal. The same story, the same idea. Remember this concept, strong and weak. So now there is a strong, now you will say there is a strong and weak. Now it's not so simple. The strong is a big fish. वो big fish खाएगा क्या? वो छोटा मच्छी खाएगा ना. और क्या खाएगा? It can't say eat anything else. So nature में the tiger will eat the deer. So is the tiger a villain? The tiger is not a villain. In nature, tiger is not a villain. The big fish is not a villain. But in human society, a strong person can take care of the weak person. So rules of animals and rules of humans cannot be the same. This is the first rule of dharma. The first rule of dharma is humans are not animals. We have chitta, we have buddhi, we have this brain, this forebrain that enables us. So that is the first idea to remember here, right? I will explain how this concept repeats itself in our history again and again and again. Now, not mythology, but history. So, I'm not talking about mythology now. This fish ka story, Manu ka story, Matsyanaya ka story comes us from mythology. But history mein, when you study the origin of Vijayanagar dynasty was in the 14th century, Karnataka area, Andhra area. In that area, they talk about Vijayanagar. They will say that once upon a time, these two brothers, Hakka and Bukka, were traveling. And at a particular spot, they saw a wild dog, a jackal maybe, chasing a hare. एक खरगोश के पीछे ये लोमड़ी जा रहा था. When suddenly the खरगोश turns around and fights the लोमड़ी, fights the jackal. Now the weak turns against the strong, and the Guruji tells the Hakka and Bakka कि ये जमीन के ऊपर the weak will stand up to the strong. This is where you should build Vijayanagar. This story is found in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh area. Now listen to another story. This is from Adi Shankaracharya. Why did he choose to establish Sringeri as the Mutt? They say at Sringeri, even now this place is there, they say that Adi Shankaracharya saw a very unique sight. He saw a frog that was pregnant. A frog pregnancy, anyway. The frog is there, and there is a big snake which is protecting the frog. He sees this unique side. Now, snake is supposed to eat the frog, but it is protecting the frog. So, the strong is protecting the weak. The same idea you will see, tell me where. You will see it around Ganpati. Ganpati ke tond mein you will see a snake. What does a snake eat? A chuha. But in front of Ganesha, the snake and the chuha are friends. What is it? And now, look at Vishnu. Vishnu rides a snake, he sleeps on a snake, Shesha, and he also rides on Garuda. Garuda eats snakes and the snake eats Garuda's eggs. So there is a continuous rivalry between them. That means there's always warfare between these two, and Vishnu is able to bring peace between these two forces. So now you see how the idea of dharma is emerging. In nature, there is always conflict between the predator and the prey. There is always conflict of the food chain. There is always conflict. That is natural. There is a hierarchy. There is a pecking hierarchy. Dharma is creating order and saying that, you know what, everybody has to support each other, turning competition into collaboration. So competitiveness is turned into collaborativeness. This is Raja Dharma. What is the visual image of it? What is the mythological image of this? The mythological image of this is Amrita Manthan story. Amrita Manthan story, There is the Devas and the Asuras who hate each other. They keep fighting with each other. Indra is fighting the Asuras. Asura is fighting the Devas, constantly fighting. Lakshmi is taken from the Asura kingdom and taken to Svargalok. And then the Devas want the Lakshmi to come back to earth. They keep fighting. And then Vishnu comes and does the Amrita Manthan. And he gets the Devas and the Asuras to collaborate. कि दोनों अगर साथ में काम करोगे तभी जाके अमृत निकलेगा. If you are competitive, then you are doing tug of war. You are doing tug of war, rassa kassi. In collaboration, manthan hota hai. When one person is pulling, the other is pausing. When the other is pulling, you are pausing. Now, look at our country. In our country, do you think we are doing collaboration or are we doing competition? The purpose that when there is many parties in the country, everybody has to collaborate with each other, but we are competitive. If you are competitive, you will not create a Rajadharma. Rajadharma is not competition, it is collaboration. That is the first rule. The symbol of Rajadharma is Amrita Manthan. Amrita Manthan is when Amrit comes only when two parties work. Now the story doesn't end there. We all know the story of Amrit Manthan, right? All the wealth goes to the Devas. The Devas take all the wealth because they trick. They use Mohini, they use the tricks, and they take all the wealth and give it to Indra, takes it and goes it to Svarga. Everybody knows the story. The Asuras are tricked. And what happens when we'll say, अरे कितनी मजी बात है, देखा हमने उसको cheat करके सब ले लिया. But then not one day in Svarga is peaceful. Svarga is surrounded by the Asuras who are constantly, never-ending fighting the Indra. Indra does not get a single minute to enjoy all his wealth. He has got the Apsaras, he has got the Gandharvas, he has got every gift from the Samudra, but he has not shared anything. And therefore, he is constantly fighting the Asuras non-stop. The Asuras are not considered to be evil. This evil word is a Judeo-Christian concept. So what does Vishnu do? Vishnu says, I will give Amrit to the Devas, but I will give Sanjeevani Vidya. Sanjeevani Vidya to the Asuras, which means the Asuras will never die. They will keep coming back to life again and again and again and again, and they will keep making life miserable for the Devas. So those who have cornered all the wealth, they will never live in peace. They have to share. They have to share. But sharing is also not easy, because you have the story of Maharaj Bali. Kerala is famous for the story of Onam. And the problem with communists is that they always take a very strange, interesting story. They don't understand the story at all. Please be aware, both communist and capitalism, both these ideas have come from the West. Neither of these ideas are Indian. Neither is Indian. So both make mistakes. Now, this whole idea of Raja Bali is being very charitable and gives everything to people, and then one day the Brahmin comes, the Vamana comes and takes this big, tells him, give me 3 pieces of land, and they say, oh, the Devas are cheating. Now we are missing the point. That is the problem. Now when you start taking things literally, you are not getting the beauty of the story. When you are charitable, then somebody will one day take away all your wealth. Like somebody decided to be charitable with our medications. You decided to do charity, your ghar hi jal gaya. You started to help others and you don't have food for your own children. This is what happens. In the scriptures, they will always talk of Karna, who gives charity. Danavir Karna. Bhaiya, that Dan, that kavach was given to protect you. What do? You give away your protection, because people will say, wah, wah, aap kitne bade aadmi ho, you're such a great fellow, but you're also a foolish fellow. Because by doing that, you have willingly and voluntarily made yourself vulnerable. And now in the battlefield, when you're killed, you say, hey, why did people kill me? Arey, you had something to protect you. Instead of being, now you are telling that the problem is with the arrow, when you had the armor to protect yourself, which you voluntarily gave away. Don't blame the arrow that kills you. In the same way, the story of Baliraj, he gives away whatever you want. This little boy comes and says, give me 3 pieces of land. Shukracharya, his Guruji, comes and says, don't give it to this little boy. There is a Shadayantra going on. Don't be over charitable. Be careful. आप किसको क्या दे रहे हो? दुनिया में सबका भूख आप नहीं मिटा पाओगे. भूख अनंत है, भोग में सीमा होती है. Food is always limited. Resources are always limited. Hunger and ambition is unlimited. Therefore, there'll always be a short supply of resources and wealth. Therefore, don't indulge hunger. दान देते तो वो सब ले लेगा and you will end up in patal lok. That is exactly what happens. The one who is most charitable ends up in patal lok, which is happens with Baliraj. So Karna ki story dekhiye, Baliraj ki story se. So there is now, look at the story. On one side are the devas who have everything but don't want to give anything to anybody. Unless somebody calls them in yajna and praises them, they will not give anything to anybody. So they are surrounded by asuras who are constantly fighting for them. So in Swarga, there is a lot of prosperity, but there is no peace. There is a lot of prosperity, but there is no peace. And trust me, I know a lot of rich and powerful people. You can read about them in the newspapers. They are always miserable because they corner all the food and therefore they are surrounded by the hungry souls, the pretas, the bhutas, the asuras and the rakshasas saying, हमको भी खाना दो, हमको भी खाना दो. Because खाना सबको चाहिए. On the other side, you have the asuras who are constantly doing dan, so much dan that they end up in patal. So there has to be a balance between greed and hoarding on one side and charity on the other. How do you balance? Again, balance. What is this method? And this is what Rajadharma is about. There is a beautiful book called Singhasan Battisi, the 32 tales of Bhoj. Singhasan, the throne of Vikramaditya, which is found by Raja Bhoj. You know, there is this great gentleman whom I adore a lot. His name is Mr. Haskar. He was a former bureaucrat, and in his free time, he translates all the Sanskrit literature in easy readable format. And I have read all his book, many of his translations. He has translated the Singhasan Battisi, the Vetal Panchishi. So I said, if we want to understand Rajadharma, we have to study kings. Which kings do I study? Now, I don't believe in reading historical kings. The problem with reading historical kings is, for example, I'll give you an example. If you try to study about Krishna Devaraya, then Kannada people will have a different opinion, Tulu people will have a different opinion, Telugu people will have a different opinion, Western scholars will have a totally different opinion. And North Indians are not interested in South Indians, so they will never read about Krishna Devaraya. If you read about Shivaji, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in Maharashtra, if you say Shivaji instead of Chhatrapati Shivaji, then somebody will get angry. Then the Brahmins will get angry if you say something against Brahmins, how they treated Shivaji. Then the Maratha people will get upset. Then there is the Dalit lobby will have. So everybody's history is very dangerous because everybody wants to kill you because they all want to save people and their culture and all that kind of things. So it's very difficult for scholars like me. So I prefer mythology, Baba. Wo na pura samay, desh kal, gods are very safe, Baba. I prefer to talk about gods, but nowadays the politicians are now after gods also. So you have to be very careful. वो लोग सब जगह आते हैं अपना दीमक फैलाने के लिए. But I like to read about Raja Bhoj, Raja Vikramaditya, because then you learn to understand what is Rajadharma. So this book was told to young princes in India that there should be 32 qualities you must have in order to be a king. Battis. Why 32? Why not 33? Why not 34? Because Battis daan 32 is a sign of adulthood. It doesn't mean being a king, it means being an adult. In order to be an adult, you need to know the qualities. So, when we talk about the great kings, whether it's Chhatrapati Maharaj, or we're talking about Krishna Devaraya, or you're talking about Harshavardhana, or you're talking about Ashoka, or Chandragupta, all these historical characters ko ek side mein rakho. Because, as I said, history has a lot of bias and everybody will have their own opinions about it. Very difficult to understand the real historical characters. Very difficult. Politicians have a view, activists have a view, historians have a view. But stories give you a very different 360-degree view. So I love stories. Now, Raja Bhoj ki jo story hoti hai, the very famous story that he finds a throne, and when he's about to sit on the throne asks him questions. Do you have the qualities of Vikramaditya to sit on the throne? Now I wish such thrones existed in the parliament so that the members of parliament, when they go on the throne, and if they don't have those qualities, the throne will eat them up. Because ye jo yogini hoti hai, 32 throne, this jo hota hai, you will find it's just called the research for throne of Vikramaditya. This is not a big deal. If you read it, actually when you read it, it's very confusing stories, but you have to analyze it. If you use an analytical mind and you study it, so see, I do all these Excel sheet work, lots of Excel sheet work. I've got a complete pivot table trying to understand what the story is trying to say, because Sanskrit literature is very poetic और बहुत गोल फिर के लिखते हैं, and then I'm like, oh my god, what are they trying to explain? But the two qualities that appear, and you will suddenly realize how it is related to Shri Ram. So राम राज्य का मतलब क्या है, और आपको समझ में आएगा if you understand Bhoj. There is the same similarity. Vikramaditya, Bhoj, Raja Ram, kings, the kings of all the avatars of Vishnu, only one avatar is a king, that is Ram. What makes Ram special, and how it is related to the Vedas, and how it is related to Buddhism and Jainism and all the what is the meaning of it? The Raj Dharma is a bigger concept. It is not just Chanakya being cunning. I don't know why on television serials they show this cunning Chanakya, and people keep thinking being cunning is being great. Being cunning has nothing to do with dharma. Dharma is, I mean, the clue to Raja Dharma lies in the word Raja. The word राजा वो होता है जब उसके आने से अराजकता कम होता है. See this. राजा अराजकता. जब राजा ही अराजकता लाता है तो उसे राजा नहीं बोला जाएगा. राजनीति अराजकता लाता है, राजधर्म अराजकता को निकाल देता है. What is Arajakta? Arajakta is where your rights are not respected, where people don't follow responsibilities. You have responsibilities, you have rights, and you have to fight. The poor fight for the rights, the rich fight for responsibilities. जिसके पास है वो responsible होता है. So, you know, when we say material and spiritual, जो प्रेत आत्मा होता है, प्रेत means hungry, भूखा है, he wants something. जब उसका पेट भर जाता है तो वो आध्यात्म की तरफ जाना चाहिए. So there is a constant balance between the material and the spiritual. That is why the symbol of a Raja is a chakra, a wheel. Wheel is a combination up and down. It is a combination of material and spiritual. So when you read Raja Bhoj story, you will see there are two qualities of Raja Bhoj. One quality is he generates wealth all the time. He's a very capable man. He's very fearless, strong, intelligent. वो डरता नहीं है और बहुत ही इंटेलिजेंट है, बहुत ही स्मार्ट है, and he's very capable, and he does a lot of adventures, and he gets a lot of wealth. So he has the capability of attracting wealth. This is the first quality that you will see in the 32 stories. When you read the 32 stories, the thing which comes out is he is a very capable, competent man who can generate wealth, which means all capitalists will love him, because capitalism is about generating wealth. तो लक्ष्मी का आगमन करता है, wherever लक्ष्मी को लेके आता है, makes the country prosperous. This is one of his qualities. First quality is he's nidar hai, not afraid. He's not afraid. He is enterprising. He will take risks. He will go on adventures. He will fight. He will do things, and he will bring Lakshmi. So he gets all these magical boons. He will get jewels. He'll get wish-fulfilling jewels, wish-fulfilling cow, wish-fulfilling tree. He gets magical things. He gets a lot of prosperity. So जहाँ जाता है वहाँ वृद्धि होती है. वृद्धि होती. That is one quality of Raja Bhoj. I mean, not Raja Bhoj. Sorry, Vikramaditya. दूसरा क्वालिटी है, and this is repeated again and again, is वो he is दानी. He distributes wealth. Now this the communists will like. So he is capitalist and communist. Capitalist because he can generate wealth, communist because he can distribute wealth. He is creating wealth and he is distributing wealth. He is creating wealth and he is distributing wealth. हर story में वो उसको बहुत पैसे मिलते हैं और वो पैसे दान में दे देता है. बहुत. So he is constantly going on a cycle of wealth generation and wealth distribution. Constantly wealth distribution and wealth generation. तो he is both. He is generating wealth. That is the राजा भोज की कहानी में वही देखता है. वो सबको दान देता है, दान देता रहता है. सिर्फ ब्राह्मणों को नहीं, राजाओं को, मर्चेंट्स को, सबको दान देता रहता है. Like a wheel, generate wealth, distribute wealth, generate wealth, distribute wealth. हमारे देश में जो the rich are only generating wealth and the poor are only demanding wealth. So there is no वो पहिया नहीं चल रहा है, मंथन नहीं हो रहा है. यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द सिमिलैरिटी बिटवीन विष्णु पुराण एंड राजा भोज की कहानी. विष्णु पुराण ब्राह्मण लिटरेचर 700 BC की स्टोरी जो शतपथ ब्राह्मण में मिलता है, जो हमें which you get in the Vishnu Puran in 500 AD and you are getting it around 800 AD, or this is written around 1000 AD. भोज राजा आदित्य की स्टोरी में राजा धन बनाता है और डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करता है. धन बनाता है, वो अपने लिए धन नहीं रखता है, अपना राजमहल नहीं बनाता है, वो दूसरों को दान देता रहता है, which means he generates wealth, so he collects taxes and he returns it to the people. It's constantly going. He's not just saying मेरे को दो, यक्ष के जैसे. जो केवल धन अपने पास रखता है उसे हम यक्ष कहते हैं. जो हमेशा भूखा रहता है हम उसे प्रेत कहते हैं. जो दूसरों से जबरदस्ती पैसा लेता है हम उसे राक्षस कहते हैं. जो दानी इतना दानी होता है कि वो खुद गरीब हो जाता है हम उसे असुर कहते हैं. क्योंकि वो असुर बहुत ही महान आत्मा, लाइक कर्ण एंड बलिराज, बहुत ही महान. अरे बाप रे, तुम्हारे हाथ से लक्ष्मी चली जाती है, फिर तुम रोने लगते हो, फिर लड़ाई करते रहते हो. तो द वन हु डज नॉट इन्वेस्ट, हु डिस्ट्रीब्यूट्स विदाउट इन्वेस्टिंग, who distributes without investing is an asura. He who invests is the raja. Investing is देना और लेना, repeat cycle. लक्ष्मी वैकुंठ का मतलब क्या है? जहां लक्ष्मी जाती है और आती है, जाती है और आती है. इट हैज टू गो इन अ साइकिल. लक्ष्मी विल कीप मूविंग. स्वर्ग लोक में लक्ष्मी जाती है और उसको पकड़ के रखते हैं, और फिर स्वर्ग से लक्ष्मी को निकालने के लिए आपको यज्ञ करना पड़ता है. यू हैव टू कीप बेगिंग द गॉड्स टू हेल्प यू. See the difference. Indra is not associated with Dan. Indra is not associated with Dakshana. Indra is, asuras are associated with Dan and Dakshana. So the difference is that you need a combination of the two. You need the devata who generates wealth, you need the asura who distributes wealth. And the two amrita manthan jab hota hai, tab rajdharma hota hai. यही बात विक्रमादित्य की स्टोरीज में मिलते हैं. That is why we use words like राज ऋषि या तपस्वी राजा. राम को हम तपस्वी राजा बोलते हैं. तपस्वी राजा या राज ऋषि. लेट्स लुक एट दीज वर्ड्स. तपस्वी राजा या राज ऋषि. There are two parts to this word. राजा वो होता है जो धन लाता है. So अर्थशास्त्र is a very beautiful line. The king brings in what is not there. He protects what is there. He enables the growth of that which is protected, and that which grows he distributes. See how Arthashastra also catches the same point. जो नहीं है उसे लेके आता है, जो है उसे सुरक्षित करता है, जो जिसको सुरक्षित करता है उसकी वृद्धि कराता है, और जो वृद्धि होती है उसका दान करता है. And the cycle continues. But Dan is not good enough. He has to go through the cycle. So he doesn't, his generosity is actually investment. Remember this word, this sentence. Generosity is equal to investment. This Dan, if you're interested in the concept of generosity and Dan, there is a show of mine on Sony TV called Dan Sthapana Yuge Yuge. If you're interested, you can watch it. It is there on Sony TV Live. And it talks about Dan, about giving and receiving, the complex relationship between wealth generation and wealth distribution. Bill Gates is not doing generosity. वो बोलता है मैं बहुत अमीर हूं तो थोड़ा पैसा मैं गरीबों को दूंगा. उसको हम दान नहीं कहते हैं. Generosity is spiritual. क्योंकि आपको अपने धन से कोई लगाव नहीं है. You are not interested. तो राजा विक्रमादित्य की स्टोरीज में he is not interested in wealth and power. 6 महीना राजा होता है और 6 महीना वो तपस्वी होता है. Look at the part. The Raja generates wealth. The tapasvi distributes wealth. The Raja generates wealth but doesn't get attached to it. Only when you are not attached to wealth will you distribute wealth. So charity is very difficult. Generosity, not charity, generosity is very, very difficult. It is not because the government has told corporate social responsibility, तुमको 10% दान देना ही पड़ेगा, जिसको हम tithe कहते हैं, ज़कात कहते हैं. That is obligatory. It is not obligatory. It is मेरा कोई लगाव ही नहीं है मेरे धन से. This only when you develop this ability will you become राजधर्म. So all of हमारे पुराणों में जितनी भी कहानियां हैं वो सब राजधर्म के बारे में ही होता है. Let me show you how भगवान शिव जी की जो स्टोरी होती है ना, वहां पे कैसे राजधर्म समझाया जाता है. Same concept, the same concept. So right from Shatapatha Brahmana, in fact from Rig Veda, the same idea is being told. It is not some great thing like capitalism or communism which only emerges in the 19th century, which is trying to justify. Capitalism is only helping the rich people becoming richer, the smart people. It helps the rich and the smart people. If you're rich, you're smart and you're well connected, it will help you. But it doesn't help the people who are weak. कम्युनिज्म इज ओनली ओ हेल्प द पीपल हेल्प द पीपल हेल्प द पीपल. अरे हेल्प कैसे करेंगे, पैसे नहीं होंगे तो. दोनों चाहिए. वी नीड लक्ष्मी टू कम एंड लक्ष्मी टू गो. दिस आइडिया ऑफ सर्कल, रिमेंबर व्हेन यू सी इंडियाज फ्लैग, दिस चक्र, व्हील, इट हैज टू मूव, एवरीथिंग हैज टू मूव. ब्लेंडर में कैसे मंथन होता है, that is the important idea, that is the balance. That's why that is the great Indian idea. Now coming back to शिवजी. तो शिवजी के साथ जब हम देखते हैं तो शिवजी को एक बार कुबेर आता है और कहता है गणेश जी को कि आप बहुत मोटे हो, क्लियरली आपको बहुत खाना पसंद है, लेकिन आपके पिताजी तो भिखारी हैं, उनके पास तो कुछ है नहीं, वो तो महादेव हैं, वो पहाड़ में बैठते हैं, गांजा फूकते हैं, कुछ काम नहीं करते हैं, तो आप मेरे घर आ जाइए, मैं तुम्हें भरपेट खाना दूंगा. एंड गणेश जी बोलते ठीक है, मैं आपके घर आता हूँ. अलकापुरी चले जाते हैं और इतना खाना खाते हैं कि कुबेर का भंडार समाप्त हो जाता है. सेम लाइक द असुरास, कि तू इतना दान देगा, मेरी भूख, माई हंगर विल ऑलवेज बी ग्रेटर देन द रिसोर्सेज दैट यू हैव. एंड देन कुबेर सेज आई हैव डन समथिंग रॉन्ग, आई हैव डन समथिंग रॉन्ग, व्हाट हैव आई डन रॉन्ग? एंड गणेश सेज देखो, तुम्हारे पास धन है लेकिन तृप्ति नहीं है. मेरे पिताजी शिवजी मुझे तृप्त होने का ज्ञान देते हैं. तृष्णा से मुक्ति प्राप्त करने के लिए मैं शिवजी के पास जाता हूं. तो यू हैव टू बैलेंस, कि तृष्णा के साथ तृप्ति भी चाहिए. यू नो व्हेन यू गो टू एमबीए कॉलेजेस दे विल टेल यू थिंक बिग, बी ग्रीडी, बी हंग्री, बी, अरे बाप रे, दे नेवर टॉक अबाउट कंटेंटमेंट. They never talk about contentment. All those people who are in startup companies only want to make 100 million, 200 million. उसके बाद, do you ever hear Facebook talking about contentment? Do you think Amazon talks about contentment? Do you think Google talks about contentment? They will destroy the planet. घूम फिर के, घुमा के, ड्रग्स बेच के वो दुनिया को बर्बाद कर देंगे. Because they are only hungry. Capitalism ना, खाना है. And then the other side, communism, हमको खाना दो. These two sides. And look how the Vedas are balancing this. In देखो, पैसा कमाना important है, लेकिन दान देना भी important है. The cycle has to be there. The cycle. देवा और असुरा दोनों चाहिए हमको. We don't. They are always fighting with each other. We have to get them to collaborate as an अमृत मंथन. नहीं तो अमृत नहीं बनेगा. तो आप जितना भी पार्लियामेंट्री डेमोक्रेसी करो, जब तक कोलैबोरेशन नहीं होगा तब तक सक्सेस नहीं आएगा. आप गरीब के गरीब ही रहोगे, कभी वृद्धि नहीं आएगी. दिस एबिलिटी टू अंडरस्टैंड द टू थिंग्स इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बैलेंस. सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. वेल्थ जनरेशन and wealth distribution. It's a very complex idea when you start understanding Jivo, Jivatsya, Jivanam. When if you tell in Sanskrit, people think it's very great. It doesn't mean anything. It just means life feeds on life, which is not entirely true because plants feed on inanimate objects. So inanimate objects are ajiva. So this is what we have to understand. We have to understand the scriptures. वेदों में क्या लिखा हुआ है, पुराणों में क्या लिखा है, रामायण में क्या लिखा है, महाभारत में क्या लिखा है, सिंहासन 32 में क्या लिखा है, वेताल 25 में लिखा क्या. Indian model of leadership is aligned to wealth generation and wealth distribution. You have to learn from the devas, you have to learn from the asuras, you have to learn from the yakshas, you have to learn from the rakshasas, you have to learn from the pretas, hungry spirits who are hungry and always want food. You have to learn. All of them are teaching us lessons. That is Natya Shastra. The Vedic thought is presented to us in the form of stories. And when somebody tells, don't learn Sanskrit, I tell them the story of how Shiva cuts the head of Daksha Prajapati. Shiva cuts the head of Daksha Prajapati, a Brahmin. Vishnu cuts the head of Dronacharya, another Brahmin. Ram kills Ravan, another Brahmin. What is the message being said? कि ये लोग, they are paying too much attention to the cup, not to the coffee. They are paying attention to the language which is trying to block knowledge. We have to focus on the idea, the concepts. Therefore, stories were created. Stories were created to bypass this Sanskrit lobby, bypass this lobby, ताकि विद्या आपकी तरफ आए. And that is what the Purans do. And the Purans and all the stories, when you read, you will see it everywhere. In go to a Jain temple, you will see Vagha Bakri. Vagha is the tiger, and the tiger and the Bakri is the goat. Now, the goat and the tiger, what is the difference? The tiger is going to eat the goat. So, tiger and goat. Predator and prey, but they have to work together. How will they work together? Only then dharma sthapana will happen. जब दोनों साथ में काम करेंगे तभी जाके धर्म स्थापना होगी. How will you work? Because the tiger has to eat the goat. Now you will say, isn't tiger cruel? Non-vegetarian, therefore he is cruel. You forget the grass. Who is the best friend of grass? The tiger. Because the goat eats the grass, and then grass says, "Mera koi rakhne wala nahi hai. Nobody will save me." It starts to cry. The grass cries. The leaves cry, and they go to Brahma and says, "The goats and the sheep and the horse and all the vegetarian animals are eating us. Who will protect us? Because once if they eat all of us, we will die. When we will die, they will also die." So then Brahma says, "Don't worry, I will create the carnivorous animals who will keep their numbers in check." Nobody is good or bad. It is all about limits. हर चीज का एक लिमिट होता है. उसके बाद अति कभी नहीं करना चाहिए. अति कभी नहीं करना चाहिए. Everything has its limits. So we have to understand that everything has its limits. Plant life will be eaten by herbivorous animals. Herbivorous animals will be eaten by carnivorous animals. But in nature there is balance, which means a time comes when one animal will dominate and there is a time when another animal will dominate. Same idea in Jainism, Avasarpini, Uttasarpini, Shushama, Shushama and Dushama, Dushama. सेम आइडिया इन बुद्धिज्म, द धर्म चक्र चेंजिंग एवरी टाइम. कि देखो कभी कभी राजा बनना पड़ता है, कभी आपको तपस्वी बनना पड़ता है, कभी लेना पड़ता है, कभी देना पड़ता है, कभी आपको धन का यू हैव टू क्रिएट वेल्थ एंड समटाइम्स यू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट वेल्थ. You have to be capitalist for 50% of your life and communist for 50% of your life. You have to keep earning and distributing, earning and distributing, earning and distributing. This is what the Vedas say. That is why India में हम लोग इंडियन हेडशेक करते हैं. कभी कैपिटलिस्ट, कभी कम्युनिस्ट, कभी कैपिटलिस्ट, कभी कम्युनिस्ट, कभी देवा, कभी असुरा, कभी देवा, कभी असुरा. ये वो. Sometimes center, sometimes states. Sometimes center, sometimes states. Sometimes local, sometimes global. Sometimes local, sometimes global. कभी खट्टा, कभी मीठा, कभी खट्टा. एक नहीं होगा. मसाले में अलग अलग प्रकार के. मसाला means collaboration of different spices, not competition of different spices. Each spice enhances the taste of the other spice, and that is why a curry becomes tasty. They are not competing with each other. So when next time you're eating masala, understand that is also teaching you Raja Dharma. So Raja Dharma is about Bhoj, about Vikramaditya, about Shalivahan, about Bhartrihari. You have to understand this concept of giving and receiving. Keep Lakshmi moving, going and coming, going and coming. That is Vaikuntha. If you don't give food to others, you are not doing dharma. In order to give food to others, you have to first generate food. So if you don't generate food, you are not doing dharma. So you have to generate food, you have to distribute food. Both things are important. I can see some people are saying, "No, don't use the word communist, don't use the word capitalist." These are the cockroaches. Because they want me to align to their stupidity. They don't want to learn the Vedas. They just want affirmation of their stupidity. If at the end of my talk there is no shift in your thinking, then you are a cockroach. Because you are saying, "Oh, I learned what I already knew. I just affirmed it. Nothing new I learned." That is the sign of a cockroach. So remember, don't get trapped with words. Go to the meaning behind the words. If you are trapped with only the words, then it is like saying tomorrow, instead of marrying a real person, you will marry artificial intelligence. Because that is what artificial intelligence is trying to do, trying to create a husband or a wife for you. It's not the same thing. So please don't be a cockroach, but of course, it's your choice. Everybody has a choice. Please understand these concepts because India needs it. We are living in the times when Raj Dharma has been replaced by Rajniti. I'll conclude my session by reminding what is the difference between Rajniti and Raj Dharma. If you go to meet a leader and he energizes you and he makes you a better person, Raj Dharma is being followed. But when you go to meet a leader and you feel frightened, scared, stripped of power, he's like a black hole, then you know you are in the room of Rajniti. Because Rajniti serves politicians while Raj Dharma serves the public. जब राजा प्रजा की सेवा करता है उसे राजधर्म कहते हैं, जब प्रजा राजा की सेवा करता है उसे हम राजनीति कहते हैं. बस इतना ही अगर आप समझ गए तो धन्य होगा भारत देश का. नमस्कार. थैंक यू वेरी मच.